So we happened to get third place with one of our favorite decks over at Locals, and it was just all meta. So let's get into it. What's up guys, and welcome back to main.phaze TV. I hope y'all enjoyed the last Locals experience. I know the editing is a little different. I'm definitely working through some stuff as far as other people editing my videos, simply because I'm gonna be focusing more on the products for main.phaze and main.phaze TV. So if y'all can bear with me, I definitely will do my best to provide as much content and product coming out. I'm working on the new dual sleeves, and getting samples and tests and all that stuff definitely is a lot of work. So I know y'all didn't come here for that. Y'all came here for the deck profile. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it, and I'm gonna go ahead and give a small little breakdown, nothing too crazy because most people do know what the cards do, but I'm gonna give you what my thought process was along with the cards when I show you. So let's start showing you. So for the monsters in the main deck, I'm running 3 Theresia. Quick run through because we've done this deck profile so many times. She sets a Dinomorphia trap from deck to field. It is not ashable, it is impermeable, it is effect variable, if that's even a word. But yes, this is your main starter. This is exactly what you want to see. Next is 3 Diplos. He is the foolish, he is the bad card. We honestly need another Dinomorphia card. It's just, yeah, 3 Diplos is crazy. 2 is horrible. I tried running it, I did horrible. 3 definitely comes up, and it's mandatory. I don't care what anybody else says. And then we are running 3 Shifter. We can play through Shifter. A lot of people tend to think that we can't because we do need traps in deck. However, we don't need to send to, in deck, I'm sorry. We do need traps in graveyard. However, we do not need to send them for cost. So it really doesn't matter. Shifter is mainly to help you go first, even if you're going second. So against Snake Eye, they start, combo or, whatever. Then you can just chain Shifter and they end up with Ash, Poplar, the field spell, and a Snake Eye Oak in the spell trap zone for their follow-up turn. By that time, it's kind of too late because you already have set 5 pass, depending on what you draw. Shifter does help. There was plenty of times where they would activate Shifter and then I would chain Shifter to let them know, like, I can play through this. It doesn't bother me. More like memes, I guess. The next 3 monsters is Misk. Have you read it? I can't tell you how many times people have not read it, myself included, because in case you didn't know, I learned this at the regional. This is the same list, by the way, that I took to the regional in Fort Worth. In case you did not know, the main phase that you activate Miscellaneous Saurus is the main phase that he protects from your opponent's activated effects. If you go into battle phase, or they go into battle phase, and they go to main phase 2, your dinosaurs are no longer protected. I didn't know that. So that definitely changes up some of the gameplay, right? The only reason why sometimes I'll shotgun Misk is I'll chain to my, if they have no response to my Frenzy or Domain, I'll chain Misk in case of Super Poly. Granted, they can play around Super Poly, or they can play around the Misk by going to battle phase, Super Poly, whatever. But depending on which trap I'm activating, I'll have to shotgun Misk. Just protect from talents if I don't open up what I need to prevent it, or like a judgment or whatnot. But Misk also helps for your 3rd turn combo follow-up if you do see it, because by that time your graveyard is loaded. You're gonna banish 4, and then the monster you're gonna summon can either be a Theresia if you have some in deck left, or the Oviraptor. So shout out to my homie he was at the Houston regional, and he gave me this idea. I've seen it, I didn't really know how it worked or how I felt about it, but it does come up, right? So you'll do Misk, banish 4, special summon Ovi. Ovi is going to add a UCT. UCT is definitely great, and it does help play around Super Poly because it's a light dinosaur and not a dark dinosaur. So having him and Rex on field, 2 boss monsters, are just absolutely insane. One thing I've done also is I will in battle phase, I'll have Rex and Tyranno. I'll activate Tyranno's effect, pop the Rex, book a Moon, then use Rex's effect, bring out Kentrigina, attack with Tyranno on every monster, send for 1,000, and then attack for more damage with Theresia, depending on what your life points are at. If they're really low, like 10, 65, you know, 100 or whatever, it's definitely a better bet because you do put in more damage, right? But yes, and it's a quick effect on your opponent, so it's really good. This has not failed me yet. I've actually used Oviraptor and another level 4 with Tyranno in hand, and I'll go over that if I don't forget. So the spell cards, forgive me for the ratios, but I'll explain why. So the spell cards are 2 Prosperity. Prosperity is a great searcher, right? The card might get banned, it might get hit or whatever. However, this deck can afford 2 Prosperities, but it cannot afford 3 Prosperities, because in the grind game, when people are taking forever or they just somehow don't die, the 3rd Prosperity, by that time you have already used a lot of your monsters, your fusions, and by that time you don't really have any more targets, right? So it's either all main deck engine that you're hoping to help you survive or something, but 3 Prosperities is no good. The 3rd one is not good. 2 is fine. Not really the same reason for duality, but I'm running 2 duality only because it's the once per turn thing, right? And if you draw duality late game, you sometimes have a tough choice of, okay, do I try to dig, or do I summon this UCT or special summon with Misk to help my combo go? You know what I mean? Because either way, I can search exactly what I want. I can do Misk, banish 4, summon out Theresia set, you know, and then you have combo there, right? It depends on the situation. If I have nothing at all, no Misk, anything, I'll do Pot of Duality. If I have Pot of Duality, then I'll just go the Misk route if I have Misk Engrave. So 2 things you can think of. And don't get me wrong, I know ratios are crazy. I know everybody has their opinion. I'd love to hear yours in the comments below. Let me know what works for you. Don't forget that this also goes around with my playing style. So I like to try to think out of the box as much as possible, but I don't really know I guess I'm a little aggressive. I don't know. But everybody has a different playing style, so what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. The one of a Fossil Dig, because it's a QCR and it looks really pretty. That's my reason for playing it. One of is great. If you draw 2 Theresia, 2 Fossil Dig, it kind of, you know, or 2 Diplos, 2 Fossil Dig, and 1 trap card, it kind of sucks because Fossil Dig searches Misk, and then Fossil Dig, you can, I mean, if they draw, I mean, they're crazy if they do, but, and then another Fossil Dig searches Theresia. But now you have 4 monsters in hand with 1 trap to set and then another from Theresia. So, I think 1 is good. And then the last of the spells are 2 Super Polys. Super Polys is amazing. Super Polys help me win games. Super Poly is broken because your opponent can't respond to it. It sucks because you can't respond to it if they Super Poly you, but you can play around it, you know, as much as possible. But I love Super Polys, and we have 2 targets only. No point in playing 3 unless I'm playing 3 targets, or multiples of 1 target. Now for the traps, we are doing Domain, 3 of. It's the quote-unquote bad fusion trap. However, Domain can come up if you're trying to play around Super Poly. You do Domain, Kentrigina, Domain, fusion into Rex. Unless they have a Dark, they can't Super Poly you. So that was my way of buying some time until I was able to combo off and actually set up so that way they couldn't get me. It does come up a lot, but it's just a safety precaution if you think they're playing Super Poly. And then the Frenzy at 3, the better one. Typically, if I have Frenzy and Domain set and I don't want to play into Talons because I know they're playing Talons, I'll do Domain and then I'll chain Frenzy. So then I'll bring out the Kentrigina and then the Frenzy, and if somehow I know they're about to out my my Rex with Ghost Mourner or Negator, whatever, then you can chain Kentrigina, Misk first if you have it. If you don't, Kentrigina fusion off into another Rex. Double body Rex, 2-3000, and it's pretty good. And then the Solemn Strike for the archetype. It's amazing. I love it. It's a monster negate. Typically this is for Ash, but depending on what's happening, you can time it well also. And then the 1 alert. I've seen people play 2. 2 might come up. 2 can be good because if you don't see the 1, you have the second one. You know, there was many times that I needed an alert, but I couldn't draw into it. So if I had 2, then that increases my chances slightly up to seeing the second one. And then for the counter traps, we have 3 Judgment. Amazing card. Says no, your opponent can't activate spell traps. Normal summon. I typically will Judgment the Snake Eye Ash. Like, all right, if that stops, 9 times out of 10 that'll stop them. But Judgment is great. And then we're doing 2 strikes because again, late game, if you draw the 3rd one, you can't do it. It's dead. Typically, if I have strike, Judgment, and intact, I'll do the strike first. Go into the weird stuff, the weird numbers and all that. But strike is a really great card. Then we are doing 3 Ferret Flames. Broken card, absolutely love it. I shuffled my opponent's monsters twice in the same turn because I drew into 2. It was great. And then we are doing 2 Iron Thunders. Iron Thunder was great. If they don't pay attention to where they line things up, it is amazing because they'll activate something under their Snake Eye Ash or whatever. You do Iron Thunder, now you do 2 for 1. But you also have to be careful because if they put it into a section or a column that you have your other trap card in that you know you need, don't activate it unless you know you absolutely have to. You can calculate the risk in your head and determine whether if it's worth it or not. And then the last card is Rivalry of Warlords. This helps Super Poly. If they have a monster already on board and you go into Rivalry, flip it, because then they can't Super Poly you. Garunix can pop Karen, but Karen can't pop and summon unless it's the same type that you already have. Unless they have like 2 Ponix or 2 Arvada or whatever the types are. Rivalry does hurt Branded as well. That is one of our toughest matchups. That's one, yeah, along with Labyrinth. However, this has been working for me the entire time. Now for the extra deck, we are running 3 Stealth Bergia. This is 9 times out of 10. I use 2 for fusion fodder, and then 1 Kentrigina, just in case I need this one. Because there'll be times where you just do a lot of damage, but you just can't kill them. You can do stealth. You can do fusion, frenzy, or domain into Stealth Bergia, and then the moment they activate something, if the monster is attack is above their life points, I just use this, burn for game, and I win. Easy. Now we're doing 3 Kentrigina. I say now, but I've been doing it. It's the standard. Also, really quickly, you can use Stealth Bergia as banish for UCT. Typically, I'll do Stealth Bergia first because I can't reborn them if they weren't fusion properly summoned. 3 Kentrigina, she copies the effects. 3 Rexterm. Your boss monster, of course you need 3. The Super Poly targets are Garura, and Mud Dragon of the Swamp. Mud Dragon is amazing because of the non-target. Garura helps with damage and draw. Now for the Xyz monsters. We are running 1 Logia. It was either this or Doka, but right now everything is... They can do simple spoils. This is mainly for meta. Like, this is mainly for Snake Eye. Everything else I'm not really, you know, worried about because we can't out them. We can also beat Snake Eye. This also can stop Labyrinth with their Welcome Labyrinth. If they didn't activate anything on your turn, you're able to set this up. You can do Logia to negate it. You can negate a summon. It's really nice. And then we're doing 1 Raiders Knight and 1 Arc Rebellion. This is also another way to OTK your opponent. Since we're not playing hand traps, spoiler alert, since we're not playing hand traps like Ash, we're not playing Psychic and Punisher. So this is another way to definitely negate the whole board, attack for game. And 1 Typhon. Typhon came up at regionals a few times, and Typhon did not come up at locals that we got 3rd place at. However, I have literally used every single card in my extra deck. There are times that I've seen people's deck profiles and like, I didn't really use it. It didn't come up. All of this came up. So I think the extra deck is amazing. I honestly, I wouldn't change it, but that's just me personally. So that's all my style. Now to the side deck. So we are playing 3 anti-spell. This hurts branded. This can hurt Snake Eye. I mean, yeah, this is really great. It helps against Talents, it helps against Lightning Storm, it helps people are going off Cosmic and going into Lightning Storm and Harpies. This helps against Harpies. This helps against Super Poly. It's really amazing. For other decks, anti-spell may not be the thing right now because a lot of people are moving away from anti-spell, but this deck benefits from anti-spell. So next is Summon Limit. We're running 3 Summon Limit. More than likely, it's probably gonna get hit. It may not get hit. Activate Summon Limit, summon out 2 monsters, Kentrigina, Rex, or 2 Rexes, however. You depend on when you activate it. But other than that, Summon Limit is amazing against Snake Eye. Then we are running 3 Bestials, 1 Baldrake, 1 Magnemite, 1 Druid Swarm. I can do 1 Magnemite, 2 Druid Swarm. However, the issue is if I draw two Druid Swarm, then me personally, I don't think it's great. At least this helps negate by tributing one of these if you get to this point. Magnemite searches any of these, so it's pretty good either way. And then we're running 3 evenly because going second is definitely difficult for this deck. Like game 1, that's why we run Super Polys and Shifters. Those are our going second cards, right? Evenly Matched is an amazing card because even if you don't draw it, you can actually like bluff them. Especially the Snake Eye when they end with IP and Flamberge. Like, yo, attempt to go to battle phase. I just do that part fast because it shows you're ready even though you don't have it. It makes them think. But that's just me. But yeah, Evenly Matched helps clear boards, back row, all that. And it's good. Lightning Storm, 2. And then the 1 Feather Duster. I've used every single thing in my extra deck. I mean, my side deck. Like I said, everything is, I know, a little weird, but this is what I used to get 3rd place. The only reason why I got my 1 loss was because I turned my Diplos into defense when they had a Linkuriboh, and I could have bought myself some time. Honestly, because I think I had rivalries on board. I know you couldn't tell by the recent video of Locals Experience because it was very short and didn't really show too much gameplay. I'm working on that. I'm working with my editor. Hopefully we can get things on schedule. I just need a little extra stuff, but I'm gonna try to keep everything the same with slight enhancements or improvements. So let me know what you think about the deck profile. Let me know what tech you have for Dinomorphia, and then let me know also what you think Dinomorphia will be next format if the ban list predictions are correct for some people. For the ones that make sense, not the copium ones, but the ones that make sense. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I'll see y'all guys next time. Peace.